Let's get some lies out of the way. The mainstream media says you only had 100,000 people show up. Go ahead, Tommy. Tell them the real news.
They're just digging their own grave. That when they continue to do this, they no longer have that monopoly. 10 years ago, that may have worked. Even a few years ago, when they had control of all social medias, that may have worked. It doesn't work anymore. I now have my platform on X. I'm back on YouTube due to the ripple that's coming out for freedom that's coming out of the United States. They can no longer have that monopoly. They don't get to tell people lies like this without the public seeing videos like you're showing now. These videos are viral. This is the largest gathering and protest in our country's history. This has never happened before. This is a cultural revolution that you're witnessing in Great Britain. And just to say to you, no one needs to thank me for standing up and showing honour to Charlie Kirk. We want to thank Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk stood up for me when I was recently imprisoned on an 18-month prison sentence for making a documentary. I spent 7 months on solitary confinement. My son played me over the phone comments Charlie Kirk made in America. It was a great moment for me during that imprisonment. I looked up to Charlie Kirk. I knew what a freedom fighter he was. I knew what a man he was. And he is a once in a generation, once in a lifetime gentleman for the world to look up to. Yes. And so we held our honour for him. But he, as he said, I had lots of people concerned after his murder. I said, if you listen to what he said you have to show courage. Even when you're fearful, show courage. Yes. The reason millions took to the streets in the UK is because we're fearful. We're fearful of what's happening to our culture, our identity. Do you know who had millions chanting Christ is King? That's unthinkable.
I know. Something
huge is happening right here.
Yes.
I'm witnessing it. I've been part of it. We went from 30,000 on the 1st of June to 100,000 on the 27th of July to 150, 200,000 on the 26th of October to millions in our capital city this week. Something massive is happening.
Well, I think Charlie was this messenger for God, number one, and faith and the word. That's what he always, when you talked to him and you asked him, that was the first thing out of his mouth, right? And then family and country. But it was always God, his faith, his faith. And I think he was this lightning rod, and his assassination, this is the turning point, which is why I think his nonprofit was named that. This is a turning point not only in my country, Tommy, but yours and the globe, for people to, one, stand up for their Christian faith, two, stand up for their country, right? You just said your culture's been eroded over there. I mean, I've heard of neighborhoods in the UK where some of your bobbies, the cops, won't even go into because the Muslims that you've allowed in are enacting Sharia law and the cops are scared to go in and police those neighborhoods. What the hell? I mean, that's just one instance. Do you think that because of what's been happening with the invasion from foreign invaders being allowed in by your liberal leaders, the arresting of senior citizens for Facebook posts, and I can go on, but do you think bigger picture, it was Charlie's assassination was the big tipping point for your people there saying enough's enough. We've had this crap happen to us. Now it's happening in America. They killed this guy we all looked up to. Now we're going to hit the damn streets in record numbers.
It's most certainly down to America that what you saw on the streets of London this Saturday, because without Elon Musk's intervention of free speech, without X, none of that would have happened. Now, there's only three people I can think of that are fighting for not just the British public, but Europeans' free speech. It's Elon Musk, it's Donald Trump, and it's J.D. Vance. And you know the hope that has given us. And hope is contagious. What you saw on Saturday was a British public full of hope. Full of hope and full of pride. And we hoped that millions would turn up, and we hoped that it would inspire millions more who are worried, who are concerned, not just in Britain, because this problem affects the whole of Europe. In fact, it affects the whole of the West. Yes. Western men, now is the moment, now is the time. We need to regain our countries, regain our identity, stop being ashamed, stop being scared, stop being fearful. We need to rise up. And that's what you saw on Saturday. You saw the spark of a cultural revolution and lots of things. See, we formed this organisation 24 months ago. 24 months ago, we sat down. I got 20 influencers together, 20 citizen journalists and influencers, and said, right, let's look at what we can agree on. We can agree on, not what we disagree on, what we can agree on. Because you get that many people together, they're going to disagree on certain things. But let's talk about culture.